Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting. We will open up with a public hearing. You want me to go ahead and state what it's about?
Yeah.
So the public hearing will be on an annexation of 1.98 acres on Highway AA, and I'll let you go from there.
Yeah, so Mr. Mayor, Board of Aldermen, this annexation is relevant to 1.98 acres up near Highway A. It's a little triangle piece.
Highway AA.
Highway AA, sorry. It's a little triangle piece. It's surrounded on all sides by the city. They've requested annexation. The applicant has pursuant to section 71.021. The application was submitted on September 11th. The public hearing was posted on September 25th. And we are here tonight for the public hearing on this item. I'm not sure if the applicant's here, but if they are, they can answer questions or any questions that the board may have. Thank you.
Is there anybody that'd like to discuss? I guess closer. Is there anybody that'd like to discuss the annexation of the 1.98 acres on Highway AA? Not seeing anyone. Does any of the board have any questions on that?
I have none.
Yeah. Right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So during the proposal, did they mention anything that they wanted to do anything in particular with this property? Any commercial, residential, or anything like
I'm
that?
going to refer to Brandy on that.
They will actually be bringing a residential proposal in front of you in the next, I think it goes to P&Z next month. They have submitted an application.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we'll go ahead and bring the public hearing to a close, and we will open the regular Board of Aldermen meeting at this time. We'd like to ask you to rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have the introduction of a new employee.
The police department would like to introduce Eric Eisenbath, who started on September 29th of this year.
Congratulations.
Welcome, Eric. Thank you. And Mayor, I told him he could forego his 5 to 7 minute speech, unless you want him to go ahead and do it.
He looks like he really wants to get up here and talk. I think he's more like wanting to get back home for dinner.
Yeah.
So.
Welcome aboard, Eric.
Be safe out there.
Next, we have the consent agenda.
We have the regular meeting minutes and the Ways and Means meeting minutes from September 16th, 2025.
Are there any questions on that?
No questions.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Lang. Roll call vote.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Waite?
Yes.
Alderman Roemaker?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be public comments. Just to kind of set it up, we'd like for you to come to the mic or podium, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak, but please state your name so we can record that down. It can be on any topic. It doesn't have to be a specific topic. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm trying to make this as short as possible. However, my name is Raymond Bergeron. I live at 21998 Licks Road. And before I start on the topics that I want to speak about tonight, I attended a zoning and planning committee this past Thursday night. And there was a proposal on the table for a subdivision project here in Warrenton. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the project. I believe it's up here on, is it Picatinny Ridge? Well, anyways, the developer and the foreman of the job, they had an overhead. And I'm wondering if in future meetings when we're discussing the proposal of this data center, we could have an overhead so we can have a visual representation of the properties that surround this proposed site. I think that would be beneficial for some people like myself who are in close proximity, actually in my backyard. So that would be beneficial. So there are several, there are a few topics that I want to talk. The first one I want to speak about, okay, and I would like to propose this to the city attorney. Excuse me, beg your pardon here, on the September 2nd meeting, it was brought to the attention to the Board of Aldermen that this property may have not been legally annexed into the city as the way that state statute is written. So I would like the city attorney to actually clarify the law, the way the statute is written, and how the city annexed this property legally, because the way I understand it, this property is surrounded by county property with the exception of the Northwest Service Road. And the way I understand it, the Northwest Service Road, that's not city property. So therefore, basically, what you've got right now, and again, I just want clarification. What you've got right now is you've got an island of property that is supposedly annexed into the city, and that's not the way the statute written. So you have to have is my understanding, am I correct, that you have to have a continuous...
So I'd like for our legal to answer that, but I don't want to take away for 5 minutes and I can't stop it and start it. So
Okay.
Can we get that answered afterwards? Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be great. Second, I want to talk about tax incentives. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong, are these the tax, I'm sorry, the tax incentives, I am understanding that Warren County will not, City of Warrenton and Warren County will not receive significant tax return or tax input from this company for the next 15 years. I mean, 15 years? I mean, we're going to get some tax return, but for the lump sum and for the risk that are involved, I mean, you're gonna basically, you're gonna say, okay, build your data center, and then in 15 years, we're going to start reaping, the city and the county will start reaping the rewards. We're not going to see anything, for 15 years. Look at myself, I'm in my late 50s. I hope to live to be old enough to see some of those benefits, as stated. All right. Third, I want to talk about water, and I spoke about this before. I'm not sure who is going to be providing water. Is it the city of Warrenton? Is it Montgomery County?
It'll be Montgomery County Water
It will
District.
be Montgomery County Water. Just a quick point. I don't have any Montgomery County numbers, but I do have Warrenton County numbers. In 2018, Warrenton used 870 gallons of water a day. This proposed site, only going by what you guys toured the Altoona, Iowa site, that uses 337,000 gallons a day. That is 43% of the city's water use. Now again, I imagine that now the city use is a little bit higher, but still that's a significant amount of water. And I mean, has anybody done, I'd like to know before we move forward with this, has any type of geological survey been done? I mean, yeah, you're going to, there's a couple of proposals. One is they want to use the water, they want to drill down 1,900 feet, use that water to recirculate. I got news for you people. When you use water in that manner, what's going to happen is they're going to have to use inhibitors, because I don't have any experience with data centers, but I do have experience with refrigeration. When you cycle water like that and you cycle it through those circuits, they have to use inhibitors, chemicals, rust inhibitors, scale inhibitors, in order to protect their pipes, to keep those pipes efficient. Anyways, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to finish everything, but again, like I said, I'm just speaking for myself and for all my residents that surround me. Please, when you do this, please consider us residents, because we're the ones that are ultimately going to pay the price. Thank you again for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Bergeron.
Thank you.
So, legal staff, I'll let you come up. I just want to get his answered, if you don't mind. Can you answer that, please?
Mr. Mayor, when the property at issue was annexed, it did not annex the right-of-way. There is a property directly south of the right-of-way, which is part of the city. The statute provides that the definition of contiguous and compact includes situations where that property is abutting the city, but for an intervening state highway. So you don't include the state highway or right-of-way, and you look directly south, and that is within the city limits. Therefore, the property is contiguous and compact based upon that definition.
Did that answer that for you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again. Cheryl Roberts, Long Hibbler, 21347 Leo Lane. I really don't have a statement. I've looked up some facts and talking about the rezoning. When you had a meeting on April 17th of 2004 and brought up this proposed rezoning of the 337 acres, in the minutes it says, John Cornell questioned if it was in a retail corridor district. Tim, which I assume is Tim Burks, your Director of Planning and Development, stated this property is north of the outer road and not within the 100 feet of right-of-way of Interstate 70. So your own representative said that it shouldn't have been brought in. The initial paperwork I found and was reported for the annexation in 2003, it was talking about, I believe it's 179 acres or 77 acres. But then when the actual annexation came up, it changed to the 337.7. When did that change happen? Or am I reading it wrong? Did we not annex all of the property into the city? Did we not rezone all of the property into light industrial? The way I'm reading it, the whole piece of property is rezoned. But I don't understand when you start out with a small lump and then all of a sudden you go to a much larger. Also, when reading the statutes, we should have received certified letters. That's in state statutes. That's also in Warren County statutes. Property owners within 1,000 feet of the parcel of land should have been notified 15 days prior to the public hearing. And again, a lot of us weren't. And when it was reported in the Warren County paper, it was reported that at that time, that was in 2023, that the annexed property was for a proposed data center, and that was in the paper. So somehow that information had to be given, I assume, at the meeting. And unfortunately, we weren't aware of what was going on at the time, so we're kind of following back steps. And as Mr. Bergeron said, I hope you'll reconsider when you finally get a proposal. I understand that you say you don't have anything proposed yet. When you finally do get something, I hope you'll take into consideration the county people with this, that border this property, the city people, what it's gonna affect us all. Yes, we need more businesses and infrastructure, but I just don't see how this data center can benefit any of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Anna Farrar, and I'm here tonight both as a citizen and a community advocate asking for greater transparency in how our boards and commissions are filled and how potential conflicts of interest are addressed. Over the last few months, our community has learned a great deal about the development efforts tied to the Warrenton Industrial North Park, particularly the 178-acre tract listed in county records as land cited for development. That parcel, as confirmed through Warren County GIS and economic development findings, remains under the ownership of Hickory Ridge Family LLC, whose agent of record is Mr. Richard Heath, one of tonight's appointees to the Parks Board. That land is also referenced in planning materials connected to the site certification efforts pursued by the Greater Warren County Economic Development Council and in coordination with utilities and transmission upgrades such as Root Beer Substation and Split Rail Solar. So in short, it all sits at the center of a project area already positioned for large-scale industrial or data infrastructure growth, even if no proposal is on the table. Now, I want to be clear. None of this implies wrongdoing, but it does highlight why the city's vetting committee should never have been dissolved just a mere matter of days ago with no public involvement or oversight, and it's not currently listed on the city website either. I had to call my alderman, who was on the vetting committee, to ask questions, to get answers, not only for my own behalf, but because I speak on behalf of a group of citizens concerned about the development in our county, or city, both. And that's why I called. It was a quick conversation that led to not much involvement other than I was told that we were no longer having this committee because it was not appropriate. Lo and behold, a few days later, now we have appointments finally. Thus, I am here. That process exists to review and disclose exactly this kind of potential overlap between public responsibility and private interest before the appointments are made. Tonight's agenda includes 3 new appointments: Mr. Heath to the Park Board, Mr. Frederick, and Ms. Tibbetts to Planning and Zoning Board. I apologize if I did not correctly enunciate any of those names. Each of these names matter because each of these individuals have participated in recent public discourse or activities directly connected to current and future development interests. Mr. Frederick has served in other civic capacities and has made comments online in support of industrial development projects. Ms. Tibbetts, meanwhile, is married to Alderman Lang, who sits on this very board, and she also represents the Warren County R3 School District on the recent tour of the Meta Data Center in Altoona, Iowa, a trip coordinated by consultant Steve Etcher and the Greater Warren County Economic Development Council. If Ms. Tibbetts attended that trip in an official capacity for the school district, she is now being appointed to Planning and Zoning. It raises legitimate procedural and ethical questions. First, by participating in a tour organized specifically to promote a data center development model, she may have already engaged in discussions of substance regarding Warrenton's own data center potential. If multiple local officials, including city, county, and school representatives, participated in those discussions collectively, that could effectively constitute a de facto quorum on data center matters long before any formal proposals reach this board or the Planning and Zoning Commission. Second, if Ms. Tibbetts is later called upon to vote or make recommendations concerning zoning, utilities, or land use that relate to the same type of project she toured or discussed, recusal would not just be prudent, it would be essential to protect both her integrity and the city's credibility. Under Missouri Revised Statute 105.454, any appointed or elected official must recuse themselves from voting, discussion, or influence over any matter that could financially benefit themselves, their family, or any business entity in which they hold a substantial interest. This law exists not to accuse, but to protect the public interest. If further discussions about zoning, state certification, or infrastructure affect these individuals, their family members, or entities they are connected to, they should recuse themselves from those discussions. The public deserves assurances that every voice on our board is free from even the appearance of conflict. This is not partisan, this is just good governance. I'm respectfully asking this board to reinstate the vetting committee effective immediately to review all current and future appointments. Require disclosure statements from all board members regarding property, business, or developmental ties within the city, and document recusal publicly when a conflict may exist. Though people of Warrenton are not opposed to growth, we are asking for transparency so that that growth serves all of us, not just the people positioned to profit from it or the appearance of. Please provide a public statement to the citizens of Warrenton regarding the response, regarding your response to this statement. Let the will of the people remain the supreme law of the land. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else who'd like to come up and speak?
Hi, my name is Bev Aylen. I live at 601 Meadowview Court, Warrenton, Missouri. We lived 26 years down in southern Warren County. We moved up to town at the end of last year. Actually, the previous testifier did answer a couple of my questions. About the field trip last week, I didn't know how it was determined who was invited to go on that field trip and who paid for the trip, but I think I've got that answer now from the previous person who testified. Just a reminder, I think I emailed each one of you because we know the data centers are here. And I'm very encouraged that maybe Warrenton should set the standard because we know that all the way down west on Highway 70, that's prime property for these centers. And we should set the standard. And now, since you haven't been approached with anything in writing, now's the time for you all to set the standard in the ordinances of what you want as far as regulations. In the meetings that I've attended, there's 4 concerns that have arisen. The one is that the power, that the data center would pay the same rate as whatever the people are paying, that they don't get any special deals. 2, that the water, that the people were not going to suffer with less water, and that the water rate, or I don't know, however it's determined, whether they dig their own well or whatever, that it's the same. And then the people who live around it, the light and the noise. And so I read the article on the field trip, and they said that noise was non-existent. So there's a good decibel level to use. I think anyway, it was in the article. And you can set these things now. There's enough data centers that you have enough data to be able to do some really good things, because as the civic office holder, your main duty is to protect the life, liberty, and property of the people, not to do good things for us, but to protect us. So you can do that now, because coming away from the data center, the agreement should be everybody's okay with it. The people are okay with it. The developer, the data center owners are okay with it. Everybody has to give, I shouldn't say give up, but there isn't a pure winner in this. Everybody is okay with it. And I think earlier there was mention of the tax increment financing, all this stuff. There's just a lot of devices that cities have used over the years, cities and counties and such, to bring in development into their, and then it really goes against the people who've been there and developed their own companies and own businesses on their own without any of these tax breaks and stuff. So anyway, just wanted you to know that we expect good ordinances, and I know that Alderman Waite, she's my alderwoman, she had submitted some suggestions, some ordinances and stuff. So I don't know when that's going to come up as far as discussion and amendments. And I'm used to dealing with the state and, first read, second read, and amended and all that kind of stuff. But that should be dealt, and is that going to be dealt with in a public setting, the ordinances for any regulations for the?
No, I think we need to.
Okay.
We have to.
So anyway, we're not unreasonable, but it's just like I said, your main role is to protect the life, liberty, and property of the people. It's not an impossible thing to make both parties in this situation come away okay with it. Thank you.
So before you walk away, on a personal note, what happened?
I was talking to my neighbor for 40 minutes, and then Dad got home, and the dog took off, and I stepped away for the dog to pass me.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a sling. That's why I was asking. Sorry, I didn't mean to take away from it. I just
Thank you, Beth.
thought I'd ask you at this point. Anyone else?
I am Dr. Pamela Mail. I live at 24106 Great Warrior Ridge, Warrenton, Missouri. And so once again, I'm coming like I did at the first of the month last month to say, could we please have more data concerning this data center. And I really appreciate that there was a site visit conducted to one center, but I would really love to have a small research team, a committee within this community to take a close look at multiple data centers where we collect information from their communities to say, what are the lessons that you've learned? What are the positives that have occurred since this data center went in? And what are some of the negative impacts? If you were in our position today, what are some of the actions you would take to pursue risk avoidance? What are some of the policies and the ordinance that you would lock in? And if we're really going to do this, what are the most lucrative financial incentives to put in place so that we benefit the people of the county, and especially those adjoining property owners that we're looking to avoid risk and maximize the benefit to everyone involved. That's data, that's research, and so I would love to see this board create a multidisciplinary committee who would actually volunteer to do the legwork and some of this research. As Dr. Pamela Mail, I have a PhD in leadership and policy. As someone who once helped put in student community for the University of Missouri, we did actual site center visits, and I served directly for the Vice President of Technology for the university. Prior to that, working with McDonnell Douglas Corporation, where we did a lot of preferred supplier certifications and being able to go in and assess. For this Evolve, how do they compare with the industry? Are they best in the industry? Are they worst in the industry? What have been people's real-world experiences with them as a contractor? So I'm begging more data, and I'm willing to put in some legwork and time to make that happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on. I just want to make sure everybody's had a chance to be able to speak. I don't want to slight anybody's chances to voice anything they need to. Next, we'll hear from Board of Aldermen.
One comment, and not related to the data center. I would like to give my PSA here and ask everybody that's driving on Highway 70, east or westbound, to please slow down and obey the speed limit and watch out for other people. Stay off your phones, and please, let's get through this construction as safely as we can.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roger.
I think it's a very valid point. I think we've got a lot of people that share their opinions of what it is, and I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert on anything, because I'm not. But listening to everyone and talking with MoDOT and what be it, just because we don't jump on social media doesn't mean we're not speaking with them. Just because, honestly, I don't have time to argue back and forth on Facebook, just to be honest with you. But I know I've spoken with an engineer who did state a lot of it they believe is due to speed. I think the company has made some adjustments in the lanes, and I think they're going to continue to look at that. They added the rumble strips right before that, and I know, talking with the State Ag Patrol, they said that most sites that they put either local or state level law enforcement in, they see a reduction of accidents by 60 to 70%. So I think they really are working towards trying to have something that's helpful for our community and for Wright City and for the whole county.
I wanted to, also non-data related comment, I wanted to thank all the city staff that came out and helped put together a successful fall festival. I thought it was very successful, and I think we had a good showing. I don't know if we broke the record, but we got close to probably the most people we've ever had. So thank you for all your extra time. I know it's outside of your normal working hours, so if you could pass that along to your staff, thank you.
And they do put in a lot of effort and clean up fast. I'm still impressed by how fast you guys clean up, just to be honest.
John was really hopping that day for sure, so.
I'd like to hire him to come over and clean up around my house. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I wanted to just kind of let everybody know again that homecoming is coming up and the parade route has moved. So I will be relaying that information, or I'm sorry.
On parade.
Yeah, the parade. So whenever that goes through, the route has kind of changed. So
It's already been done.
I know. And we had people ask about that, and so I got the answer on that. They were, I guess, a little upset that it wouldn't be going through Truesdale anymore.
You mean the Christmas parade, not the homecoming?
Is that what you're
And they told me they changed the homecoming parade as well.
They may have, but I know that we did change the Christmas parade just due to some complaints that came in.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to relay to them about that, and they wanted to know if it would be an ongoing thing, if we're just going to go ahead and keep it changed for every parade that we do have going forward.
I think as of right now, because of the complaints that they weren't, I don't want this to seem like somebody came in pounding their fist complaining. There were just some complaints that we were going through a certain area while the Holy Rosary was having their mass, and it was really hard for them to be able to get in and out of. So they did ask, some people did ask if we could change the route, and I get it. I don't want to stop anybody from their religious beliefs or anything from them being able to get in there. So that is why it was the consideration and why it was looked at to change the route.
Yeah, and I don't think it's, when I looked at the new route, I don't think it's going to have any bearing on,
the new route won't. No.
festival goers or anything like that.
No,
so.
I think Truesdale was just upset that
They were.
there wasn't a coordination exactly done. It was kind of a last minute thing that came up because up until very recently, it was already planned on still keeping the same route.
Yeah, I guess that it caught a few people, the residents, by surprise that are pretty active within Truesdale. So.
And it was working in coordination with everybody that kind of helps out with that as well. It wasn't just a city idea and city sprouting that.
All right, well, thank you.
I want to say that this Friday is going to be the first Movies in the Park in Dyer Park. I believe that starts at 7, right? And we'll be playing Hocus Pocus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you coming up? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was asked the question, what was the movie? The first movie is going to be?
Hocus Pocus?
Hocus Pocus, thank you.
Yep.
Couldn't have guessed that.
Should have.
It's still a good movie.
Anybody else? All right. So I want to address partly of some of the questions that were asked during the public comments. I don't have a problem having a vetting process. I don't have a problem with it at all. The problem we had on some of these was there were only 2 people that applied. That was it for the planning and zoning spots. We have said something the past 2 meetings about having spots open. It's in the minutes. We're trying to get people filled, but we had 2 people apply. That was it to fill those vacancies. We do have a lot of problems filling vacancies, as people may not know, but we've said numerous times, there just aren't a lot of people that want to volunteer to be able to fill these spots or work at these spots. Usually it has been left, in the past, it's been left up to the alderman or contacting by email or by phone to City Hall saying you're interested in the spot for us to be able to put you on a board to be able to process that. You do have to meet certain criteria for certain positions. But in the end, I'm going to let you know the 2 people that were selected were the only 2 that applied. I don't know what else to say about that. But a vetting process, it was created for a reason. I get your concerns, and I know we talked about going away from it because we weren't having anybody there that we needed to vet because we didn't have people that were applying. I'm still open to transparency and having a vetting process. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think anybody on this board has had a problem with that because a lot of them have sat on a vetting process for other boards in here in the past. So I don't want that to be a misconception to anybody, that it's trying to fit what we want in there. When we don't have people applying, we don't have many choices. With that being said, I do have 3 appointments that were already listed, but I will go through them one and by one for voting. The appointment of Damian Frederick to Planning and Zoning to replace Gary Miller. I'll entertain a motion to approve Mr. Frederick for that spot.
So moved.
Second.
I'm going to go with Lang on that one. That's fine. So, motion was made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Lang. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Waite?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be the appointment of Stephanie Tibbetts to Planning and Zoning to replace Kelly Madden. I'll entertain a motion to approve the Stephanie Tibbetts to that spot.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Romaker, seconded by Alderman Quarter. Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Waite?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
I abstain.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with 1 abstaining. And the appointment of Richard Heath to the Park Board for a 3-year term. I'll entertain a motion to approve the mayor's appointment to Planning and Zoning and Park Board, Park Board for a 3-year term for Richard Heath.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Lang. Who seconded, please?
Alderman.
Thank you. Seconded by Alderman Romaker. Roll call vote.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Waite?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations, all 3. Thank you. With that being said, I'm going to take my little time here to speak. Again, for clarification, I think it's obvious and well known that there's probably a data center coming. We have not had anything submitted yet. There's no one denying that there's probably one coming. They're trying to, or got Evolve, which is the builder, is looking at a lease on properties to build towers. From there, we have to wait till things are submitted, but I agree. We need to be working and are working towards looking what restrictions we may want to put in place. And I do like the fact, I think it's something we need to discuss in a workshop meeting, which I know some people may agree or may not agree with, but I think we do need to look at a possibility of a board that we can look at filled with people that are more educated in that field than I am. I can tell you that.
I think that's a great idea.
And, we can go through a process of who wants to volunteer to be on that. Dr. Mayo obviously is pretty knowledgeable on certain things, and I would like to agree with her and say we need to look towards that. But I do think that it's something that we can establish in a meeting and come together, or establish in a workshop and then come together in a meeting and approve. I think we can move forward to that. So please, this is me saying, if you want to be on that board, start thinking towards that. And when it comes open, please pay attention and volunteer to be on that board. I don't know how much we're going to be able to advertise that, but I'm telling you here and now, if we get towards that, please volunteer your time if you want to be on that board to be a part of that. With that being said, I will move on to City Administrator Brandy Walters.
Good evening. The first thing that I have for you tonight is the MoDOT agreement that we had talked about at the last meeting. This is for grant funding to conduct work zone enforcement program of 2025 through MoDOT. This is just strictly for volunteer type for our police department, just to do enforcement out there. They do get paid through MoDOT. They will reimburse the city for any of that payroll, and it will be on their, I guess, more on their off time. They do get to sign up for that through MoDOT. MoDOT will send over their schedule of this is the times they have available, and our police officers will be able to sign up for that.
I thought we moved forward with that on the previous board meeting.
We just discussed it. This is the agreement, the actual agreement.
Everybody's asking, it's like, we need them out there now, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I think we have to pass it first, so.
And this agreement is for 5 years with an option to renew at 1 year each after that if the construction is continuing.
So I only have one question, and if I can guide it towards the chief, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. Last time we talked about doing traffic out on the highway, which I know this isn't fully traffic like what we talked about a while back. I know we had some issues, and it was just individual officers more so than anything, maybe not using whatever. I think one got off on the transmission, got hit or something on the concrete. Are guys pretty comfortable going out there and being able to help and do this?
I believe every shift is already spoken for, so
Okay.
they're ready to go.
Excellent.
And this isn't, so everyone knows, it's not an interdiction or,
Right.
this is strictly traffic enforcement to slow everyone down. In fact, our department, each shift coordinates with the construction foreman to see where that night exactly they want the officer to be sitting.
Okay. I just wanted to know their comfort level, and it sounds like it's pretty good.
Oh, they're ready to go.
Okay.
It's good information, thank you.
So I guess my question is, city business takes priority, right? If they're called off of that, if they're on that and they get a call, they're authorized to leave that.
The officers working this detail are working this detail. That's why MoDOT's paying them.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't
So
be,
it's overtime.
it's not
they're
considered
not
a
on
shift
city
work, it's
time.
Oh,
actually
it's not during
considered.
their shift
No.
at all?
Correct. The
It's a
city is still
volunteer.
fully staffed. That officer on the highway is coming in on his off time and being compensated by MoDOT to do it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Now, when it comes to shift change for that, is the officer going to go out there to relieve that officer, or is that officer going to go back, then officer comes out?
I don't know the length of the shift. I don't, like I
guess-
said, it's up to the foreman where they want them.
I think what, if I'm reading this right, Alderman Lang, I think what you're asking is, are they going to be relieved, like there will always be a car there, or is there going to be a
Yes.
brief period of time where there won't be a car out there?
There should
for
always
most
be a
shift?
car there,
Okay.
from my
Okay.
But it
understanding.
may not be our car.
No.
It may be the highway
Correct.
patrol.
Could be
Okay.
someone
Yeah,
else.
they're rotating our cars with highway patrol.
Yeah, I just want to make
think
sure
even
there's a
county-
car out there.
Yeah.
So we can expect them, then we pass this now, they'll want to start like tomorrow?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, because people are asking about it,
No.
you know, they're wanting more presence out there, and it's like, well, you know, it came to us and we were unanimous that we wanted this also, so I can tell them that's going to happen tomorrow.
I think it's valid. I think they're all valid questions. Thank you for answering, Chief.
You got it.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 45-25.
Still
So
moved.
moved.
Second. Third, whatever. Everyone said.
So I'm
Go
going
ahead.
to
My name down. Let's
You can
take
skip
it.
me.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Lang and Quarter if you're okay with that.
There you go.
You're left out this time.
Sorry,
Deep
Roger.
voices, the deep voices.
First was
Yeah.
by Alderman Lang, seconded by Alderman Quarter.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to enter an agreement with Missouri Department of Transportation to receive grant funding for the Warrenton Police Department to conduct a work zone enforcement program.
So before we go for the second reading, just so everybody knows, there's times we're sitting up here with crickets chirping before they jump in, so all of them jumping in is a little comical.
Because we all want this.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 45-25.
So moved.
Second.
Made by Alderman Romaker. Schultz. Or was it Schultz? I'm sorry, Schultz. I saw him moving towards the mic. Seconded by Alderman Waite.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to enter into an agreement with Missouri Department of Transportation to receive grant funding for the Warrenton Police Department to conduct a work zone enforcement program.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Waite,
Yes.
Alderman Romaker,
Yes?
Alderman Lang,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
The next thing that I have for you tonight is the Aquatic Center Management Agreement. We brought in Midwest Management last year to do this, and they have provided me with a contract for next year, for January through December of 2026. And they are have increased some of their wages and operations, for obvious reasons, but minimum wage is also going up again in January, and they try to keep above that, so they have increased the salary budget for this year. The management fee is $63,300, and the maximum salary budget, they put a maximum they won't go over, is $518,970 for 2020.
Said 518,970?
Correct.
Any questions on that?
How many employees do they have up there? You know?
I don't know that number because they have so many lifeguards and
Okay,
they
so,
usually
but they're
have-
not having trouble having people?
No, it doesn't seem
Okay.
like it. They usually have a manager on site also, and then they have like a director of operations that comes around.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'll just ask, is that going to decide on a vote on the number of employees? Okay. Can you still get that number for him, though,
Absolutely.
please? All right, thank you. All right, well, I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 48-25.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Romaker, seconded by Alderman Lang.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor to sign the Aquatic Center Management Agreement between the City of Warrenton, Missouri and Midwest Pool Management of America, LTD.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 48-25.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Corder, seconded by Alderman Lang.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor to sign the Aquatic Center Management Agreement between the City of Warrenton, Missouri and the Midwest Pool Management of America, LTD.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Wade?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
And I wanted to just touch base with you on a couple things. We got our credit rating back from S&P, and we received an A+, which is great. It's the same that we had in 2023 with that bond, so we'll be moving forward with that. Dates to remember is Hometown Christmas is on December 6th at 5 p.m. As Alderman Waite mentioned, the lighted parade will start at Blackhawk Middle School, line up around 4:30, and that'll proceed all the way down Boone Slick. It'll go straight past City Hall this year instead of having the turn, and then the full event will be on City Hall grounds. Also, I sat in on a MoDOT construction meeting earlier this week, I believe on Monday, and they have reduced the speed limit from Warrenton to Highway A in Wentzville to 55. So that will be going on now through the entire construction project. They are going to be they'll work in the Warrenton area from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. and between Wright City and Forestdale from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Just a couple notes real quick that isn't in our area, but it could affect people, is the North Service Road in Forestdale will be closing on October 20th for a 60-day closure. So traffic will be rerouted there. And at 64 and 70 on October 14th and 15th from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. It sounds like that is going to be a complete mess because it is going to have closures everywhere.
Always
So
a complete
I
mess.
would not,
can't
I
imagine.
wouldn't even go in the area
Nope.
during that time.
What date was that going to be on again, hon?
October 14th and 15th. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
Next, we'll hear from Grounds and Maintenance Director Justin Knoll.
So good evening, Mayor and Board. You have a report for August. Kind of reflecting in that report, we did have quite a bit of tree work at the pool park, removing trees along the dog park and some of the other areas. We had 8 pavilion rentals, a lot birthday parties, and some of that including Morgan Park, quite a few rentals and stuff now that the playground's back open. So a lot of good rapport from that. We did kind of catching up to current date. We had a lot of our parking lots sealed, which include Morgan Park, Dyer, Binkley Woods, the Cemetery Road, and also our grounds and maintenance lot was sealed and prepared for winter. This week, the tennis court at Dyer Park the resurfacing project has started. The guys were there today tearing out the existing nets and the piers and preparing for the court to be resurfaced. And that should be about 7 days at closure, a little bit longer than expected, but just they're kind of got some other projects going on, so there's not quite as many guys showing up to do the preliminary work. That's pretty much all I had for the notes. You guys got any questions?
All right, thank you, Justin. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Just One, if you don't mind.
Sure.
There was a comment that was made to me, and I have no idea how it can be handled, but I guess somebody asked if there was some fencing that could be put in dog park for a small area for small dogs. I guess their dog was getting trampled by some of the big dogs when they were out running.
Sure. We've had,
Go ahead.
right, so kind of familiar with the question. We've had it since the dog park opened. There has been a lot of requests for a small dog park. Just my opinion, that area might not be, like, even though it is a sizable space, it's about 1 acre enclosed. It's just with the subdivision of the fence and property and individual entrances, for say, might not be the best zone, but perhaps another small park located either within the pool park or another facility.
No, excellent knowledge. Thank you. I mean, I just wanted to be able to provide an answer for some of the people when they ask, and I understand. I've seen some of my little ones get run over by bigger ones.
Right.
So.
Oh, there's quite a few big dogs in there running around.
But, I mean, it's all enjoyable. They're all,
Absolutely.
I haven't seen anybody really complain about a lot of it, so, thank you. Next would be hearing from Public Works Director, Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. First time I have in my monthly report. They completed the work off of Redbud with the curb and gutter repairs and paving. They did some concrete repairs on Lewis Street and some asphalt repairs on East Oak. They had 7 water shut-off repairs. On the sewer side of it, they had 4 sewer calls. 1 was private and 3 were on the city. Crews are out doing monthly routine flushing right at 5,000 feet. We had 203 Missouri 1 calls with 7 emergencies. At the well park, the well's been drilled. Moving along pretty good with that. The boring for the sewer main is supposed to start October 20th. And that's been ongoing for a while, so we're looking forward to getting that completed. Up there on Meadowview, they have 1 more pour, and they've been doing dirt work, and that should be completed probably by next week. They're working pretty hard at the wastewater treatment plant. They're pouring the digesters at the plant and some other concrete work. So that's moving along real good. There's a lot going on out there. Any questions off the report on that?
No, but a statement, and it's not to give you a hard time, actually. As much as some people wanted to start complaining about some of the road work being done, they appreciated that we were actually being attentive and doing some of it. So what I thought was going to be a bad interaction on the phone actually turned good, and they just complimented and said thank you for addressing some of the issues on some of the roads, especially on near Isaac Kent and on Dogwood. So
They come out nice for patching that together.
I just wanted to pass it along because I know you don't always get those
I
compliments.
appreciate that. Now I need to ask for some money.
Thanks. Is there any questions about the monthly report?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have 2 items. The first item I have is asking for approval for professional service with Cochran Engineering for Steinhagen Avenue. This is a stormwater project from Wabash Avenue to Flora. This is the administration part of it for $54,341. So this is having them put it in the paper, bid it, check the bids, check quantity, do inspections, make sure the pay apps are correct. So that's the first item that I have.
And the only thing
There's a bill for that.
What's that?
And there's a bill for that.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say to that is Alderman Hawk, who used to be on the board, was adamant about the stormwater issues, and if you ever went out there during the rain, some of you guys have lived over in that area, it's needed. So I appreciate you still showing concern for it, and I'm sure the former Alderman Hawk will definitely be thankful. Any questions on that?
None.
All right. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 46-25.
So moved.
Second.
Second would be Romaker. Okay. Motion made by Alderman Lang, second by Alderman Romaker.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Cochran Engineering for professional services for the Steinhagen Avenue project.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 46-25.
So moved.
Second.
Yes. Sorry. Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Corder.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Cochran Engineering for professional services for the Steinhagen Avenue project.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Porter?
Yes.
Alderman Wait?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Next item is the same as the first. The only thing is it's off of McKinley Avenue from Wabash to Flora. It's the same stretch. We did it separately when we bid this out, so that's why I have to do it 2 times. I didn't combine them both together. And that's at $60,372. If I get these approved, then we'll get it out in the paper and get it processed and see if we can get some good bids come in.
Any questions on that? All right, I'll entertain a motion for first reading of bill number 47-25.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Corder, seconded by Alderman Romaker.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Cochran Engineering for professional services for the McKinley Avenue project.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 47-25.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Lang, seconded by Alderman Schultz.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Cochran Engineering for professional services for the McKinley Avenue project.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Porter?
Yes.
Alderman Wait?
Yes.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Lang?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for the close of the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Waite. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned. Thank you, folks.